Late on the night of November 15th, 1966, two young couples sped into the Point Pleasant police station in a panic, demanding to speak with the sheriff. They had been driving near the outskirts of town when they encountered something that defied explanation. They described a 7-foot-tall gray creature with a 10-foot wingspan and hypnotic, glowing red eyes. According to their report, the entity had pursued their car at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, following them all the way to the city limits. This wasn't the first time the figure had been spotted. Just 3 days earlier, 5 men preparing a grave in the nearby town of Clendenin reported a massive, brown, winged humanoid lifting off from the trees and gliding silently over their heads. These initial reports were the start of a 13-month period of supernatural dread, a high-pressure buildup of sightings that would leave the community of Point Pleasant permanently scarred. In the mid-1960s, Point Pleasant was a quiet, rural hub of 5,000 people. It was a town of historic brick storefronts and quiet streets, where the baseline for daily life was safety and predictability. The only real outlier was the TNT Area north of the city, a sprawling, abandoned munitions facility left over from World War II. The site was a labyrinth of overgrown concrete bunkers, or igloos, hidden in the dense forest. It was an isolated, eerie landscape that locals generally avoided after dark. The physical proximity of this dark, decaying military ruin to the quiet town made the TNT Area a constant source of local anxiety. When the sightings began, the facility became the geographic center of the mystery. Over the following year, the phenomenon escalated rapidly. More than 100 residents filed official reports describing encounters with the same winged figure. The town reacted with a mix of panic and fascination. Armed hunting parties began scouring the woods at night, while local newspapers amplified the fear with sensationalized headlines about the Mothman. Paranormal investigator John Keel arrived in December 1966 to document the chaos. He proposed that Point Pleasant had become a window area, a localized zone where the usual rules of physics and reality seemed to temporarily fail. The sheer volume of corroborating reports from independent witnesses moved the creature from a backwoods rumor into a pervasive, shared terror that the town could not ignore. The activity soon expanded beyond creature sightings. Residents reported strange aerial lights, malfunctioning television sets, and poltergeist-like activity where doors opened and closed on their own. Local journalist Mary Heyer began reporting on even stranger intrusions. She described encounters with unsettling strangers who seemed to appear out of nowhere, including a man with a bowl haircut and hypnotic eyes who visited her office. This visitor spoke in a mechanical, halting voice and stared at an ordinary ballpoint pen with childlike amazement, as if he'd never seen such an object before abruptly fleeing in a black car. The terror had transitioned from a mystery in the woods to a personal intrusion. One family living near the TNT plant was so unsettled by these persistent events that they eventually sold their home and moved away. Everything reached a breaking point on December 15, 1967. At 5 p.m., holiday rush hour traffic was packed bumper to bumper on the Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Ohio. Without warning, the bridge's steel structure buckled and collapsed. 31 vehicles were on the span when it gave way, cars sliding directly into the freezing waters of the Ohio River. It was one of the worst bridge disasters in American history. 46 people died in less than a minute. The Mothman sightings, which had been occurring almost daily for over a year, stopped abruptly on the same night the bridge fell. The 13 months of slow-building supernatural dread were instantly replaced by the immediate, unforgiving reality of a mass casualty engineering failure. The National Transportation Safety Board launched a forensic investigation that lasted 3 years. Their goal was to find a mechanical cause for the collapse, and they found it in the wreckage. The Silver Bridge used an I-bar chain design. Unlike most suspension bridges that use cables made of thousands of wires, this design relied on links made of just 2 parallel steel bars pinned together. Inside a single joint,
I-bar 330, a microscopic crack just 1/10 of an inch deep, had been growing for 40 years. Stress and corrosion had slowly eaten away at the steel from the inside out. When that tiny crack reached a critical threshold, the I-bar fractured. The entire load of the bridge link shifted to the remaining bar, which immediately snapped under the weight, triggering a catastrophic domino effect. The suspension chain parted completely, pulling the massive towers down and dropping the roadway into the river. The investigation proved that the collapse was a matter of metallurgy and physics. The bridge fell because a specific engineering flaw reached its inevitable breaking point. In the decades since, the Mothman legend has largely overshadowed the memory of the mechanical failure. This is narrative hijacking, where a complex, traumatic event is replaced in the public mind by a monster story. For a traumatized community, the myth offered a way to process a sudden, inexplicable loss. A supernatural omen is easier to contemplate than the fact that dozens of people died because of a rusted piece of steel. While the legend of the Mothman remains a popular mystery, the real-world danger lies in the hidden fractures within our infrastructure. The microscopic cracks growing in the steel we drive over every day are a physical reality that requires our attention.